In the dead of night, a whisper slices through the air. Unseen and unheard, it penetrates the world's most sophisticated air defenses. This phantom can deliver a payload powerful enough to alter the course of history, yet remain as elusive as a shadow. At $2 billion per aircraft, it's the most expensive plane ever built. How does a 50-meter wide giant become invisible to radar? And why does it look like it flew straight out of a sci-fi movie? Hey.
The B-2 bombers used in a surprise attack on Iran's Fordo nuclear enrichment plant on Saturday have left the world itching to know more about this stealth aircraft. Here are 10 surprising facts about one of the US Air Force's most secretive planes. Number 10. The B-2 Spirit bomber, colloquially known as the stealth bomber, gets its nickname for good reason. The massive plane is quite literally a blip on enemy radars with its advanced technology. The plane's flat, jet-black build helps the aircraft disappear into the night sky. And with an extremely aerodynamic design, engines can operate at a much lower intensity, reducing their sound and infrared heat signatures. But what really makes this plane invisible is at its surface. Number 9. The B-2 bombers are coated in a state-of-the-art radar-absorbing material. The paint is incredibly effective at absorbing radio waves, rather than deflecting them, making it practically impossible to detect on conventional radar systems. The coating is so vital to the plane's covertness that crews will spend hours examining the outside of the craft after each flight and will reapply the coating regularly. A slight blemish in the application of the coating can compromise the integrity of its stealth. Number 8. The B-2 bomber, being a technological marvel, comes at a hefty price tag. Each plane costs at least $2 billion to make, not to mention the costs of paint and labor required to maintain the aircraft. Number 7. The B-2 is designed to endure extraordinarily long missions. According to its manufacturer, the plane is able to travel up to 6,000 nautical miles on a single fueling. And when factoring in refueling, it can reach any point in the world within hours. In 2001, the plane set the record for the longest aerial combat mission ever conducted at 44 hours. Next up at number 6, creature comforts. For such long trips to be bearable, the high-tech bombers are equipped with a lavatory, just like any other plane designed for long-haul flights. In order for pilots to stay sharp, the craft also bears enough room for one pilot to lie down and rest while the other flies the Batwing jet. And when pilots inevitably need their own refueling, the cockpits are outfitted with mini refrigerators and a microwave oven to keep the crew fed and alert. Number 5. For a stealth craft designed to be invisible, the size of the plane is anything but small. The B-2's wingspan clocks in at a whopping 172 feet. That's half the length of a football field. Number 4. Because the aircraft does not have a tail like other planes, instead opting for a flying wing design to maximize stealth, this makes the B-2s inherently unstable to fly. To compensate for this, the plane utilizes an advanced fly-by-wire computer system that uses external information such as speed and angle of attack to help fly the plane without pilot inputs. Number 3. According to the Department of Defense, it is so rare to fly in a B-2 that each person given the opportunity is granted a special designation.
Everybody that gets to fly in the B-2 is provided a Spirit number via Northrop Grumman. So from the very first pilot to our later guys that came after me, you have a number saying, hey, in my case, I was the 602nd person to fly in the B-2. So it just kind of puts in perspective how few people total over the lifespan of this aircraft who've actually gotten to fly the aircraft.
Number 2. The B-2 Spirit bomber has a small crew aboard the plane during flight, consisting of only 2 members, one pilot in the left seat and a mission commander in the right seat.
That's right. It was originally designed with the thought of possibly a third pilot to sit behind where you're sitting, but right now it's just a 2-pilot mission, and that's the way they'll do it out at Whiteman.
Being incredibly expensive, the fleet of B-2 bombers is also small at only 19, but there used to be 20. And finally at number 1. Only one B-2 has ever gone down. In 2008, the Spirit of Kansas B-2 went down just after takeoff on a runway in Guam. The first and only crash was reported to be caused by moisture in one of the plane's sensors. Both pilots were able to safely eject from the aircraft, which totaled a loss of about $1.4 billion.
It's an iconic airplane. Everybody knows what the B-2 is.
While many have seen it fly at sporting events and on TV, very few have gotten to see it up close. And of those few, even fewer have actually become a B-2 pilot, one of the hardest things to achieve in the U.S. Air Force. So how do they get there? It starts here at undergraduate pilot training, where students fly the T-6 Texan II and the T-38 Talon. Then some pilots head directly to B-2s, while others fly something else first. Those pilots all come to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, the home of the B-2 and the 509th Bomb Wing. Whiteman has been the B-2's only operational home, with the first operational jet arriving in 1993.
So we need folks that can fly for a very long time at a very, very high skill level.
Once students arrive at Whiteman, they're assigned to the 13th Bomb Squadron, home of B-2 training.
There, they'll go through their initial qualification courses where they'll just learn the basics. Then they'll go into the bomb squadron and they'll teach them the actual mission qualification stuff, how to employ, what the enemy and the adversaries around the world look like so that we can counter them. And then as you get into the OSS and the more experience, we start to dive into the more technical features of it, and then exactly how to train people and how to teach them how to go and do that.
So in the B-2, flying is almost secondary. So your primary focus in the B-2 is mission. It's a fight. It's getting a 3-ship across the range. Where flying is almost got to be secondary and natural here.
Another key aspect of training, beyond just flying the B-2, is the length of time missions take. Often more than 30 hours, which takes a huge toll on the body. As a result, pilots have to be able to train their bodies to handle that amount of time in the air. Since there are only 20 B-2s in existence, a lot of training flights have to happen in the simulators at the Mission Training Center at Whiteman. One key training sortie they oversee is a 24-hour flight designed to simulate a strike mission anywhere in the world. And according to one pilot, being in a simulator that long is almost like a road trip.
By doing that 24-hour WIS to get somebody mission qualified, it helps you learn those things about yourself before you do it in the jet for real. Focusing inside the cockpit on all the various tasks that go along with getting to where you're going and making sure that you're going to be able to employ the weapons effectively, get the effects that you want.
And beyond just flying the aircraft or staying awake to do so, students have to learn the B-2's main mission, dropping bombs on bad guys.
Really, our mission here is to be lethal. That's it. So if there is something on this planet that needs to be destroyed and our elected senior officials deem it necessary to be destroyed, the B-2 stealth bomber will find a way, and we carry the capability and range of weapons from the conventional side of a 500-pounder up to our 30,000-pounder massive ordnance penetrator, the GBU-57, and then if that can't kill it, we've got the nuclear option as well. So the B-2 holds just about every target on this planet at risk.